Welcome back. Are you not sure what to do with your old magazines? Well, don't throw them away. Jennifer Ackerman Haywood from the Grand Rapids Press and CraftSanity.com is here to show us how to turn the pages of magazines and newspapers into jewelry. Yeah. Which is very cool.
Right, and I'm afraid people are just filling their houses up with stuff now because I keep telling them not to throw anything away.
Yeah, and they go, how do you do that again? Yeah, no, very cool though. This is cool because I know that, especially when I was a teenager, we used to make jewelry all the time out of like the beads and stuff, and mine never looked as good as yours, but it's a cool craft to do.
Right, and it doesn't break the budget. That's what I love about it.
Absolutely.
So, well, these are some examples of some things you can make. This was made out of an invoice from my freelance writing.
Oh, very cool.
I made a mistake, so I'm like, well, I guess I'll use it for this project. And this is just braided fabric with a bead that's made out of a magazine right here.
I like this fabric better than the hemp.
Yeah,
it's the hemp and it'd be a little scratchy.
Yeah, it's a little bit softer. It's cotton, so it went a little softer. You can work with a template if you want. Okay. You can draw yourself out a template, but you don't have to. Newspapers, as we said, fair game. Anything you get in the mail. I mean, I've had like junk mail. You know, I cut up a.
I don't need this bill.
Well, don't cut up your bills. But okay, so I used this is just a page from the Pottery Barn catalog. Okay. Okay, and I really liked that fabric in the bedspread. Yeah. So what I did is kind of strategically cut some bead pieces out of that. So from there, I will have some beads. And actually, this center bead right here was made from the fabric from the Pottery Barn catalog. So you can be really strategic about it, or you can just get yourself some scrapbook paper. I did cut on the back. I mean, drew some lines so I could cut them out, but you don't have to. I like to use. You can use a variety of things. This is a knitting needle. You can use pencils. You can use straws. Just your skewers for shish kebabs, and bigger knitting needles.
Yeah, so, whatever size you want, basically.
So basically, once you get your triangle shape, you can have it be like a rectangle at the end. You can decide if you want it to come to a point or if you want it to be a nice kind of rectangular end here. I'm using just a kid's glue stick. Glue. Yep. And then what you do is you just roll this up right around the knitting needle or whatever else you decide to use. Real tight. Wind it up, or just roll it up real tight there. And then what I do is, that's not going to hold by itself. Okay. So what you do, I'm just using Mod Podge. And this is the hard coat. So you can put several coats on, but you just basically go around and don't be too stingy with your Mod Podge. You want to no kidding. And you can do several coats, kind of build it up to a shiny finish. And then you can do some sanding on these if you want.
Okay, so that will dry clear then.
That dries clear, yeah. Otherwise,
I was going to say, that's not going to look very good.
Yeah, that's not going to look too good. No, you got to let it dry. Okay. So letting it dry overnight is a good idea. Okay. So if you want to move on to like a magazine page, and say you don't have a template. Okay, so basically what you're going to do is you just make like cut a rectangle here, and then you just make it come to a point. Okay. And this can be really random. It does not have to be
just kind of guesstimate. It's fine. Yeah.
And the key is though, when you're picking things out, like this I got from a newspaper or from a magazine. Now, if you look at this, you want your most colorful part to be at the top, because I'll show you what happens with this one. You want the colors that you end up with to be obviously rolled on last. Otherwise, you cover up the part you really liked. And again, I'm just rolling that on. And at this time I skipped the glue. And sometimes I won't if I'm going really fast, if I'm trying to make a bunch at a time, I won't start the glue right at the beginning. Okay. So, as long as you're putting that Mod Podge on, you're all set. And the bigger knitting needles are great for working with kids, because my kids are 3 and 5 and they have an easier time. Yeah, yeah. So see how you have the color? Yep, yep. And if you use a bigger diameter, knitting needle or something that you're going to roll this around, you can use wooden dowels too. Okay. You'll get bigger beads. So, and this project was inspired by Heather Robinson, who I featured in my column last week. She makes paper bead jewelry that totally blows this out of the water. I mean, her stuff is fantastic. And you look at it and you're like, I cannot believe this is from a magazine. Really fantastic stuff.
I think your stuff is pretty good. I'll give you props.
Well, I've only been doing this for a couple of weeks here, intensely. She's been doing this for a good long time. And so yeah, she does a great job. And another thing I want to mention here is that you can mix in regular beads. Okay, so which one are the regular beads? So if you look at the silver here, all that's the regular beads. This one up. Yeah, I did not make the silver parts there. So you can kind of dress up these paper beads.
Kind of do whatever you want with them. Now, what is your column on this
The
weekend?
column this weekend is about a mother-daughter team that makes leather goods, and this is, let's see, Karen Tabor and her daughter Jess Tabor Rodriguez.
There they are.
And they work in out of Karen's home in Wyoming, making just a wide array of handbags, belts, everything leather under the sun that you can imagine, and they do a great job. And they go to the Renaissance Festival. They'll be there through the end of September, so you can go check out their booth and see what they make.
Are you going to bring a craft in for us then, with something leathery?
Well, actually, if you look in Sunday's Press, you can have a chance to win a little pouch that clips on. So it's like
I love winning stuff, yes.
Yes, so check that out.
Perfect.
Check out my column and enter to win.
Perfect.
People might think it's rigged, though, if you win. So.
No, well, I won't win. I'm not going to, but, very cool. Well,
so I'm sorry.
Jennifer, thanks for being here. Thanks for showing us your mad skills. We always appreciate it.